Anyways, continuing on with the lesson. हमने पिछले क्लास के अंदर आई थिंक विद all three theories, yeah, the entire first section हमने फील्डर हमने शुरू कर दिया था. We discussed Fielder, the least preferred coworker theory, and now we're going to discuss the second theory in the styles of leadership, and that's the Hershey and Blanchard theory for leadership. All right. So, like Fielder, right, who says that by different situations require different leadership, these guys also believe the same logic that different styles are required, and because different situations की requirement अलग होती हैं. So Hershey and Blanchard, unlike Fiedler, who only defines two styles of leadership, Hershey and Blanchard are going to go for four styles of leadership. Now, Fiedler does give a good example of describing these styles of leadership, but he does not describe the situations where these leadership would be required. He only describes the styles, not the situations, right? Uh, he only says that power and control would be different. So उसके अलावा he doesn't tell you anything about the situation जहाँ पे ये दो type of leadership successfully unsuccessful होंगी. So he's only limited to style. Hershey and Blanchard are something else. Hershey and Blanchard also go to an extent to describe the situation in which every single style of leadership would be suitable. So in their theory, we're gonna not only study styles, but we're also gonna study the situation that supports each of the style. All right. So तुम्हारा जो book है, right, इसके अंदर ये diagram बना होगा जो black वाली book है, काली वाली, by Russell, and basically these are all four type of leadership: S1, S2, S3, and S4. Now, these four type of leadership are divided into two aspects. They're also going to measure how supportive the leadership, how supportive the leader is, and how directive the leader is. Directive का मतलब है कि authoritative, and supportive का मतलब है how क्या कहते हैं relationship oriented they are. So task oriented and relationship oriented का यहाँ पे aspect है, but they are differently described. As a supportive behavior का यहाँ पे नाम दिया हुआ है for relationship oriented, and directive is replacing task orientation. So let's talk about each one of them. So in S1, right, you can either say directing or you can say telling. Which one you use, it doesn't matter. The terminology can be either telling or it can be directing, but it's going to be the same. See, in S1, right, look at the grid. The leader's directive behavior is very, very high, but his supportive behavior is very, very low. So over here, the directive, the leader is going to be super, super, super authoritative. He's not going to care for relationships. So basically, this leader is super, super, super task oriented, where he's going to tell you what you're supposed to do. That's where the word telling comes from. So यहाँ पे the leader tells you what your job is, what role are you supposed to do, right? And he's going to tell you what to do, how to do, when you're supposed to do it, where you're supposed to do it, and you're supposed to do it. So basically, the follower over here does not have an active role. The leader has a super active role. The leader calls all the shots. The leader tells you everything that you're supposed to carry out, and you're just supposed to listen and do it. So that's S1 telling. Job the leader will not care about you. He only cares about the job being done. Then we come to S2. You can either name it as coaching, or you can either say it as selling. And over here, the leader is also goal directed, but also cares about the co-workers as well. So यहाँ पे the leader, yes, he's going to tell you what you're supposed to do. You get directive behavior high है, but he's going to do it in a manner जहाँ पे you guys get motivated. क्योंकि supportive behavior is ज़्यादा. So it's an extreme of both ends. So basically, instead of telling you what you're supposed to do, he's going to motivate you to do something that he's going to say. You are still supposed to listen, ठीक है, but you're allowed to talk back as well, ठीक है. And basically यहाँ पे क्या होता है, the leader motivates you. पहले वाले में फर्क क्या था, it's like the leader is commanding you or ordering you. यहाँ पे the leader is motivating you. Yes, you're supposed to do what the leader says, but he's going to do it in a manner that makes you feel like you wanna do it too. That's why he's selling you his idea. You're supposed to buy into his idea. You're supposed to do it willingly as well. So that's why he's motivating you. So that's selling. Now we come on to S3, that is the supporting or participating, which one you like. यहाँ पे the leader does not care about the work उतना ज़्यादा. The leader is super concerned about the group members. So the leader will be super supportive. जहाँ पे the leader would talk to the group members and give them an open platform. He will give them the space to share their ideas regarding a decision making process and how to accomplish that task. So यहाँ पे the leader's focus is to maintain and improve relationships rather than accomplishing a job. So he's going to do whatever it takes to increase or strengthen the relationship with the co-workers and other team members with one another. That's his focus. Now we come on to S4. S4 is delegating. यहाँ पे both of the aspects are low. Not even supportive and doesn't care about the job as well. So what is this यहाँ पे? यहाँ पे the leader doesn't care about well does not care का लफ्ज़ तो इस्तेमाल नहीं करूँगा, is not concerned with the well-being of the group members, neither well-being of the task. So basically होगा क्या यहाँ पे, the leader is not active here. इसका ये मतलब है the leader is not active here both domains. So the task, how to do it, is responsible of the group members. The leader is not going to be responsible for it क्योंकि leadership ने responsibility group members को दी हुई है. Acha. And the leader will not the leader will not engage in conversation to improve group member relationship as well क्योंकि वो भी follower का काम है. So the leader is just going to make sure and ask the followers if everything going according to plan or not. ठीक है ना, if they want help फिर leader आएगा वरना नहीं आएगा. सारा का सारा काम followers को होगा. That's why the leader is not active. यहाँ पे the leader neither delegates sorry यहाँ पे ना leader neither is directive nor supported. यहाँ पे कोई मसला. और मुझे एक मिनट दे दो, एक मिनट दे दो. All right, so coming back. So these are the four such leadership styles that Hershey Blanchard mentioned. Now, if you understand these four styles, ठीक है ना, वो that's completely fine. लेकिन Hershey and Blanchard की theory is not complete if you don't understand the situation where these four styles can be applicable or useful as well. So now we're going to talk about the four styles. तुम्हारे बुक के अंदर ये भी डायग्राम होगा जहाँ पे D1, D2, D3, D4 लिखा हुआ है. These are the four situations that Hershey and Blanchard mentioned. We're gonna use a different vocabulary, right? I think M1, M2, M3, M4 करके लिखा हुआ है तुम्हारे. Yeah, M1, M2, M3, M4 लिखा हुआ. So it doesn't matter if you use the D terminology or the M terminology. I'm gonna use the M terminology. So the reason I'm gonna use the M terminology क्योंकि इसको maturity level कहते हैं. Maturity level 1, maturity level 2, maturity level 3 and maturity level 4. यहाँ पे D का मतलब है development level. Same thing. So what style is better would depend upon the development level or the maturity level of your followers. Let's suppose if they are on maturity level 1 and 1, as in ये जो एक्सेस है राइट, ये वाला D1, D2, D3, D4 के अंदर भी दो चीज़ें क्या कहते हैं मेजर हो रही है. Their ability to work and the willingness to do work, as in are they capable of doing work, skill set, qualification वगैरह, and their willingness to do work, motivation वगैरह. M1 या D1 जो भी कह रहा हो, यहाँ पे ग्रुप डेवलप हुआ ही नहीं है. So that they're neither capable of doing work, काम करना आता भी नहीं और करना चाहते भी नहीं है. So in that case, the leader is supposed to tell them what to do, order them what to do, right? You're not supposed to care about the relationship. You're supposed to tell them what to do. Why? Because they don't know how to do the job. Okay, they lack the ability. So they would be able to do it if you tell them what to do, and they're not willing to do the job. ठीक है ना? But your main concern is getting the job done. So that's when यहाँ पे style one, which is telling कामयाब होगा if both of them are missing. Now let's talk about D2 to M2, maturity level 2. The people are willing to do the work, but they don't know how to do the work. काम करना चाहते हैं, करना आता नहीं है. So यहाँ पे लीडर को then थोड़ा बहुत लोग को मोटिवेट करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि दे आर ऑलरेडी विलिंग, एंड उसके साथ साथ लीडर को सिखाना भी पड़ेगा. सो उसको डायरेक्टिव होना पड़ेगा. तो दैट्स वाई इसका लफ्ज शायद कोचिंग लिया गया यहाँ पे. कोच द पीपल हाउ टू डू द वर्क. सो दैट्स वाई यहाँ पे लीडर थोड़ा बहुत मोटिवेटेड भी होगा, बट ही इज ऑल्सो गोना बी डायरेक्टिव टू टीच द एबिलिटी टू द पीपल हाउ टू डू द वर्क. So that's why M2 के अंदर style 2 is successful. Motivation level 3, people can do the work, but they don't want to do the work. As in they can, but they don't wanna. So यहाँ पे लोग को सिखाना तो नहीं पड़ेगा. You're supposed to increase their motivation. You're not supposed to talk about how to do the work because they already know. So that's why यहाँ पे the leader does not have to be directive. He's supposed to be super supportive so that he can motivate people to work. So that's why यहाँ पे participative style ये S3 कामयाब होगा. And the last and the least, यहाँ पे the group is able to do the work and the group is also willing to do the work. So they're ready and willing. So that's why यहाँ पे the leader does not need to do anything. So that's why यहाँ पे leader takes the back seat, does not need to motivate people, does not need to direct the people. So the leader can hand the responsibility over to the group members entirely. क्योंकि the group is capable and confident and they can do the job, get the job done. So M4 के अंदर D4 कामयाब होगा. So regarding Hershey Blanchard summary क्या लिखते हैं? We are supposed to write a statement that different situations require different style of leadership, and the successful leader is the one which changes their style according to changing according to the situation that is given. So rather than this one, ठीक है ना, तुम यहाँ पे four type of leadership behavior define कर दोगी, right? S1, S2, S3, S4 क्या होता है, and four type of maturity style define कर दोगी. M1, M2, M3, M4 क्या होता है. I would not say कि तुम ये भी अलग से देखो कि M1 के लिए कौन सा स्टाइल चाहिए, M2 के लिए कौन सा स्टाइल सही है, M3 के लिए कौन सा स्टाइल सही है, M4 के लिए कौन सा स्टाइल सही है. I would say कि ये लिखोगे और लंबा हो जाएगा. So just describe the styles and describe the situation and just write this one line कि Hershey and Blanchard believe that different situations require different styles of leadership, and that leader will be successful who can change their style according to the given situation. So that's Hershey and Blanchard's take. So that's why now we're gonna go on to the evaluation points. Is it individual, situational? It's completely both. It is going to talk about what style does the leader have to adopt. So that's individual, but also situational क्योंकि is also dependent upon कौन सा style आपने situation के हिसाब से choose करना है. So it's both. Well, is it reductionist? I'm going to say no, it's not reductionist because यहाँ पे situation and style की बात करें, so it has more than one perspective to it. So it is going to be holistic in my view. Uh, क्या कहते हैं? Is it free will or deterministic? Well, I would say it is deterministic in the sense that the leader cannot choose whatever the style they want. Ultimately, leader has to choose the style जो उसका situation हो. So the situation is supposed to dictate what type of leadership style the leader is supposed to go. The leadership cannot do coaching in D3, cannot do coaching in D4. So situation के हिसाब से चलना पड़ेगा leader को. That's why the leader has no free will. Is it applicable? 100% is applicable because you can use this concept to teach leaders about the four type of leadership in leadership training, and you can also use this to train your leaders on how to change their behavior according to a given situation. That's why it is applicable to train leaders in training sessions जो organizations में होते हैं. um, और क्या होगा इसका नेचर नर्चर का कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ पे नहीं आएगा. ठीक है. और नेचर नर्चर कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं आएगा. और लेकिन कल्चर बायस का भी कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ पे नहीं आएगा. सो I guess that's it. That is the evaluation point for Hirsch and Blanchard, the four staff of leadership. Uh, Again, the difference between that and least paper co-worker by Feeder is that Feeder gives you a questionnaire. Hirsch and Blanchard don't have a questionnaire. Hirsch and Blanchard go for 4 stars. Feeder goes for 2 stars. Hirsch and Blanchard also define the situation. Feeder does not define a situation, but both of them believe that different type of situation require different type of leaders. That's one similarity that you can point at. इसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन अभी तक? All right. Now we're gonna go on to our second theory. Sorry, the third theory, जो आखिरी है. And before this theory, right, I'm gonna talk about why was this theory given. You may see similarity between Hershey and Blanchard and this thing. तुम कहोगे कि इसमें कोई फर्क ही नहीं है, so why are we teaching this? हर्षी ब्रांचर का मोटिव अलग था और ये जो अभी हम जिनकी बात करेंगे इनका मोटिव अलग है. इनका मोटिव है मिसकंसेप्शन क्लैरिफाई करना लीडरशिप के बारे में. बेसिकली सम पीपल बिलीव कि लाइक इफ द लीडर इज क्या कहते हैं टास्क ओरिएंटेड instead of participative, some people believe that's a very very bad thing. So participative behavior leaders are always seen as good, rather as task-oriented leaders are seen as bad. So they want to clarify this misconcept कि भाई ऐसा नहीं है कि people believe that task-oriented and participant-oriented are two opposite ends. They want to prove that it's not the opposite end. They're not opposite. They're different concepts. They're not opposite concepts. Number two, what they want to make clarify is that there is a difference between फैसला करना and काम करना, execution. So they want to clarify the difference कि भाई decision making and actually doing the work that you decided in the decision making is are two different and they're not the same. Number three, what they want to clarify is that they want to clarify the concept that there is no concept that the best leader is the one which who is the participating leader. So they want to clarify कि ऐसा concept नहीं है. It's not the best style of leadership. There, it is completely different in reality. So they want to clarify these three concepts. Okay, number one, participating leadership style is not the best. Number two, decision making and execution of the task are two different things. And number three, the task oriented and participative leadership styles are not opposite of each other, and task oriented is not bad. That's why they've given this theory of directive leadership, and it's by Musk and Raymond. So, उन्होंने भी चार टाइप ऑफ लीडरशिप दिए, ठीक है ना? लीडरशिप डायरेक्शन, जो तुम डायरेक्टिवनेस कह सकते हो, एंड लीडरशिप डिसीजन मेकिंग पार्टिसिपेशन, जो तुम टास्क ओरिएंटेशन कह सकते हो. So basically, you want to focus upon डायरेक्टिव बंदा कितना एंड पर्सन को डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर कितनी दी गई है. So the two things that you're going to look at is direction and decision making of the person. So is this going to be a matrix as well जहाँ पे चार type of leadership styles आएंगे. So terminology is going to be a bit different, but you can see the similarity of that with Hershey and Blanchard. फर्क है कि terminology different है. So first of all, we have a leadership style जहाँ पे direction high है. So the leader is super authoritative, super task oriented, and the followers get to have little say in decision making. So it is the less of क्या कहते हैं participative style. So it is known as directive क्योंकि direction high है, and autocrat क्योंकि decision making power लोगों के पास नहीं है. So directive autocrat is the complete name. जहाँ पे the leader is going to make the decision by himself and others supposed to चुपचाप follow it. Again, इसके भी अपने uses होते हैं. It is useful when people need to make quick decisions or when you have a staff who is untrained या inexperienced staff. So that's why वहाँ पे कामयाब होता है. जहाँ पे जल्दी फैसला करना है, that's why you don't have time to ask people in case of emergencies or when you have people who don't know what they're doing when they are new. So that's why ये चीज़ काम आएगी. Next you have जहाँ पे the leader is super directive. but the participants do have an opportunity to have a say in decision making process. So if that was directive autocrat, यहाँ पे डायरेक्टिव तो होगा बिकॉज डिसीजन मेक डायरेक्शन हाई है, बट ऑटोक्रेट की जगह डेमोक्रेट होगा, जो तुम डेमोक्रेसी कहती हो, जहाँ पे लोगों को डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर होती है, दैट्स व्हाट द वर्ड डेमोक्रेसी कम फ्रॉम। तो क्योंकि यहाँ पे लोग बात डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर, यू विल से डेमोक्रेट। यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि लीडर विल आस्क फॉर सजेशंस फ्रॉम द पार्टिसिपेंट, बट किस फैसले में अमल अमल करना है, वो फाइनल डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर विल बी इन द हैंड ऑफ द लीडर। So it's like this where different people invited and different suggestions are taken. ये उस वक्त होता है जहाँ पे the leader is not the expert, the leader requires other people to step in and explain him the situation, जहाँ पे situation complex हो and different experts are required, and different experts अपने suggestion देंगे and the leader will pick one which he likes the most. So that's why ये complex situation के अंदर काम आता है directive democrat. Now we're going to a third leadership style जहाँ पे we have the situation जहाँ पे the leader is not directive but the participant are not participative as well. So democrat तो यहाँ पे autocrat तो होगा क्योंकि the participants have low decision making power, but this is not directive, तो यहाँ पे directive की जगह permissive आएगा, the opposite directive. यहाँ पे क्या होता है permissive autocrat के अंदर, the, क्या कहते हैं, the decision making power, ठीक है ना, is made by the staff and the staff is supposed to choose how to follow it, right? यहाँ पे ज्यादा बात की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. Is that situation जहाँ पे you don't have to discuss how to get the job done and you don't have to tell how to do the to get this job done, and ये उस वक्त काम आता है जहाँ पे टास्क इतना सिंपल है कि हर कोई कर सकता है एंड इतना ऑब्वियस होता है कि हर किसी को करना चाहिए. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर पानी खुला हुआ है नल, तो इसमें कोई बहस की बात नहीं है, तो कोई डिसीजन मेकिंग की जरूरत नहीं है और ना किसी को बताने की जरूरत है कि नल बंद करो. whoever sees it will do it. तो ये इस वक्त तो जब टास्क are simple or या people are highly skilled enough and motivated enough to do the task on its own. For example, if you see a fire in the building, you're supposed to extinguish the fire. So जो भी फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर करीब है, they're gonna go grab the fire extinguisher and put it out. या कोई चोरी हो रही है, call 911. Again, there's no decision making power needed and no one has to tell you to call karo. Is understood. So that's why it is useful in that regard. Then you have the situation, the fourth type, जहाँ पे the leader is going to take the back seat and participants are going to have the क्या कहते हैं decision making power. So क्योंकि leader is not directive, it's permissive, and people are decision making power. So that's Democrat. So over here, the participants have a say how to improve or how to carry out a task. ठीक है, so involves high participation of the followers and they have free choice of how to carry out the task. यहाँ पे ये इस वक्त यूजफुल होता है when the leader trusts the employees and the employees are responsible and skilled enough to carry out the task on their own. यहाँ पे decision making power इसलिए चाहिए होती है क्योंकि task itself simple नहीं है, थोड़ा सा complex है. That's why you need to decide how to carry out a task, but the leader is not there because the staff is trusted. If the leader does not trust the staff and the task is complex, फिर leader would be in the front seat. तो ये फर्क है. So Muskil Raymond says कि भाई basically you can have a situation जहाँ पे डायरेक्शन भी हाई हो सकती है एंड डिसीजन मेकिंग भी हाई हो सकती है, क्योंकि एक मिसकंसेप्शन ये था कि ये दोनों ऑपोजिट है, बट दिस गाय शोज के नहीं, ऑपोजिट नहीं. अगर ऑपोजिट होता तो ऐसा सिचुएशन आ भी नहीं सकता, बट मुस्किन रेमन प्रूव कि ऐसा सिचुएशन है जहाँ पे दोनों चीज़ें एक साथ अकर हो सकती हैं. एंड मुस्किन रेमन ऑल्सो प्रूव दैट कि भाई डिसीजन मेकिंग लीडरशिप स्टाइल इज नॉट ऑलवेज द बेस्ट. हर किसी का अपना अपना यूज़ होता है, डेमोक्रेट का भी अपना यूज़ है, ऑटोक्रेट का भी अपना यूज़ है. So one style is not the best. They also clarified it using this theory. Or also, decision making and execution is not the same thing. So basically, he also clarified this misconcept. If you look at this one, जहाँ पे decision making है लोगों के पास लेकिन execution leader के पास होता है. So यहाँ से ही kind of clarified कि भाई डिसीजन मेकिंग आप किसी और को पकड़ा दो भले, बट डज नॉट मीन कि वो बंदा टास्क भी एक्सिक्यूट कर सकता है. सो एक्सिक्यूटिंग पावर किसी और के पास भी हो सकती है, डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर किसी और के पास भी ऐसा हो सकती है. एंड दिस इज हाउ ही प्रूव दैट. एंड दिस इज हाउ ही प्रूव कि these two things are not the same, these are अलग. सो बेसिकली दैट्स मुस्किल रेमन. सी आई की समरी मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. सो सी आई की समरी के अंदर what you're supposed to do is you can talk about the three misconceptions and talk about these four leadership style in brief description. कि भाई डायरेक्टर ऑटोक्रेट के अंदर क्या होता है, एंड वन लाइन डिस्क्रिप्शन इसके अंदर क्या होता है, वन लाइन डिस्क्रिप्शन इसके अंदर क्या होता है, वन लाइन डिस्क्रिप्शन. एंड दैट शुड गेट यू थ्रू योर समरी. सो strength and weaknesses, Muskin Raymond, ठीक है ना. Again, they also give you a holistic view, as in situation को भी देखते हैं, leadership style को भी देखते हैं. So it is holistic in my view. Muskin Raymond की theory है, ठीक है ना. It's not going to be focused on nature nurture, but it is going to be deterministic, क्योंकि यहाँ पे again the situation will decide कि आपको कौन सा leadership style की तरफ जाना चाहिए. The leader cannot make द डिसीजन के कौन सा लीडरशिप स्टाइल में अपनाओ. द सिचुएशन विल डिक्टेट आप कौन सा लीडरशिप स्टाइल अपना सकते हो. It is completely applicable. You can train a leader on these four perspectives. You can train a leader to be highly democrat, directive or autocrat, or you can train a leader to be a permissive democrat. So it can be used in trainings as well. So it is applicable 100%. Uh, क्या कहता मैं, डिटर्मिस्टिक तो है. इट इज़ इंडिविजुअल सिचुएशनल, क्योंकि यहाँ पे दोनों चीज़ें हाईलाइट हो रही हैं. वन थिंग इट डज मोर देन हर्श एंड ब्लैंचर्ड इज दैट they clarify misconceptions. Hirsch and Blanchard do not clarify misconceptions. So that's one difference between them. Culture bias could be in the sense that uh, किसी कल्चर के अंदर कोई लीडरशिप स्टाइल ज़्यादा प्रेफरेबल होगा as compared to other cultures. For example, some cultures would like this one, some cultures would like this one, some cultures may favor one. So, which leadership style is favored may be dependent upon a cultural phenomenon rather than the organizational phenomenon. So, it could be culture bias in that sense. उसके अलावा, yes, that's it. So that's the three leadership styles जो तुम्हारे syllabus में था. There's one more thing that जो तुम्हारे syllabus में नहीं है, but they ask Mintzberg 10 managerial roles from you as well. This was never in your syllabus. Oxford की किताब में भी नहीं है, Cambridge की किताब में भी नहीं है. तो तो basically, I don't know why they asked this, right? So explain the relationship between leadership and managerial roles. This question was a very vague one. You can तो इन्होंने क्या किया कि मिन्सबर्ग की थ्योरी को उन्होंने आंसर बना दिया, which is very very weird. But क्योंकि आंसर में आया हुआ था, तो I'm gonna explain what is Mintzberg theory as well. So Mintzberg is the guy who said कि भाई मैनेजर्स की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो वो लीडरशिप के लिहाज से डिफाइन हो सकते हैं. सो बेसिकली ही सेड whoever the manager is, right, they're a leader. And because the leader is a manager, they are supposed to improve relationship with their followers. Why? क्योंकि if you improve the relationship with their followers, they will be satisfied. And if they're satisfied, they're gonna do good work. And if they could do good work, your organization will meet a goal. If you're not good with them, they're not going to be satisfied with you, they're not going to do their job right, and your organization would suffer. So even though you're a manager, you're supposed to improve relationship with them, and that is why you're a leader when you're a manager. So he says that there are 10 ways to improve relationship with them, or there are 10 manager roles that you can adopt to improve relationship with them. And these 10 managerial roles are divided into three categories: interpersonal category, informational, and decision category. So interpersonal category बात करते हैं. Basically what this category means is that in this category the manager is responsible to provide information to their team members. So you can do this by three ways. As a figurehead, figurehead का क्या होता है कि you're supposed to symbolically be a source of inspiration. You may not have real power, but you will be respected as an authority. As an Let's suppose Qaid Azam would be alive right now, right? He would not have power, no power. Okay, he's not in politics, but if he were alive today, people would still respect him, and if he said something, people would still listen to him and be inspired by him because he is that type of person जिसकी personality ऐसी है. So figurehead would be some type of person जहाँ पे someone who might have a social status, इतना authority officially इसके पास now, but serves as a source of inspiration for the people. हो सकता है कि like KFC का जो जो बाबा बना हुआ है, if he was alive today, he could be a figurehead for KFC. Yeah, you can say the founders of the company जब retire हो चुके हैं, office में ज़्यादा नहीं आते, but they're still the figurehead. People look up to him as a source of inspiration कि यार इसने बहुत पहले company शुरू की थी. So it is those type of people. So they provide inspiration to people. Then you have the leader. Leader is where होता क्या है कि you're supposed to make the follower in your group better. So instead of being a figurehead, यहाँ पे you actually have control over the situation. You have authority, and as a leader, what you're supposed to do is manage people's performance, and you're supposed to improve their performance. And so if someone is a person who is not doing a good job, you're supposed to go to them and do anything that you can do to improve their performance. ठीक है? So it's like you're supposed to manage a team. So leadership के अंदर हर बंदे के performance बढ़ाने का काम आता है. Then you have the liaison. Liaison के अंदर होता क्या है कि liaison is a person, ठीक है, who communicate internal and external with the world. So a liaison is a person who is able to communicate with the external world on behalf of the company. So it's like a messenger or it's like an ambassador of the company जो बाहर की दुनिया में आपके information फैलाएगा और बाहर की दुनिया से तुम्हारा information लाएगा. So it's like a bridge. It's like a network between the company and the world. So that's liaison. And ये तीनों interpersonal category में आते हैं. Next you have is the informational. जहाँ पे it's not more about providing the information, it's more about what to do with the information. So in interpersonal के अंदर you provide information, you give and take information. यहाँ पे you have the information, but you are now gonna figure out what to do with the information. तो इसको processing के अंदर कहते हैं. So there are three things that you can do as an informational category वाला person. A monitor is the person where you get information, right? And then होता क्या है कि once you get the information, you're supposed to look for what needs to change in regards to information. So you're gonna look for improvements with regards to the information. तो होगा क्या कि you're gonna monitor your team, monitor for organization, for errors, for dangers, for accidents, whatever that can damage your productivity. So you're gonna monitor for anything that can mess you up. So that's what you do with information. You're gonna look for weak points as a monitor. Disseminator क्या होता है? Disseminator would be a one person where you have information, right? But you're gonna figure out whether you should communicate information or not. So disseminator would be a person which filters out users information and gives only useful information to your team members. क्योंकि अगर फजूल information आएगा तो content बहुत सारा हो जाएगा, people might get stressed out. So you don't give those type of information to them. You only give them things that they need to know and not anything else. So that is disseminator. The spokesperson, the person who represents your team or your organization or your क्या कहते हैं group, ठीक है ना, to other people. So इसके अंदर है कि they're like a mouthpiece. So whatever they're going to say, these are your ideas, but he's going to represent you on that stage. So even though वो खुद बोल रहा होगा, but he's going to talk about what you guys discuss as a group. सही ना? तो इसके अंदर क्या होगा कि this person would be responsible for giving information about you to the people outside. So this is different than network. You can network का give and take होता है. Network is supposed to bring the information back in as well. स्पोक पर्सन के अंदर यू आर सपोज फिगर आउट हमें क्या बताना चाहिए और क्या बताना नहीं चाहिए. The spokesperson is like, maintaining the image of your company or your group to the outside people. भले अंदर फट्टे चल रहे होंगे, but the spokesperson will not disclose it. He's supposed to have a good image. Then you have the decision making category. Now, decision making category के अंदर क्या होता है कि you get the informational category. You process the information in the sorry, you process information here. You get the information from here, and decision making के अंदर you execute. So now this is all about execution. So there are four ways you can execute your information that you have. As an entrepreneur के अंदर क्या होगा? Entrepreneur के अंदर you can decide that you wanna do new things in an organization. जो पहले नहीं हुआ, you're gonna introduce creative ideas. You're gonna solve problem unique ways. You're gonna look for changes. You're gonna improve. You're gonna completely change the structure of the organization. So if you decide to do that, you're gonna be an entrepreneur. जहाँ पे you wanna generate new ideas. Disturbance handler is the person where if your team or your organization hits an unexpected setback, so the disturbance handler is supposed to solve it. So yes, so the disturbance handler is useful when you have a problem that you did not expect. So disturbance handler is supposed to figure out कि उस unexpected problem को किस तरह remove करेंगे. Resource allocator is the person who's supposed to allocate resources within your company. As in, for example, he gets the information and people have processed the information, and then information has now been given to you. So resource allocator is the person who is supposed to divide the resources within the company. So basically, he's supposed to figure out कि किसको ज़्यादा फर्नीचर की ज़रूरत है, किसको ज़्यादा पैसों की ज़रूरत है, किसको ज़्यादा फंडिंग की ज़रूरत है, किसको ज़्यादा फंडिंग की ज़रूरत नहीं है, कौन पैसा ज़ाया कर रहा है, कौन पैसे कम ज़ाया कर रहा है, ठीक है. सो ही सपोज टू एलोकेट रिसोर्सेज, क्योंकि आपके पास लिमिटेड रिसोर्स होते हैं. यू कैन नॉट गिव एवरीथिंग टू एवरीबॉडी. यू आर गोना गिव थिंग्स टू पीपल हु एक्चुअली नीड इट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, कौन से फ्लोर पर ज़्यादा कॉपियर्स की मशीन होनी चाहिए, कौन से फ्लोर पर ज़्यादा लाइट्स रखना चाहिए, दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग. सो दैट इज द रिसोर्स एलोकेटर्स जॉब. Negotiator is the person, ठीक है ना, जो he is supposed to come up with a better situation for people who are in that negotiation process. The negotiator is supposed to be neutral, ठीक है. He's supposed to क्या कहते हैं, present best terms and condition for both parties, ठीक है. And he's supposed to maintain that both parties stay on the negotiation. They don't get distracted from it, as in like they don't talk about something else. So negotiator is supposed to solve a तुम कह सकते हो dispute, या solve a या come up with a situation which satisfies both parties. So that is an additional category. So Minsberg कहते हैं कि whatever you do यहाँ पे, right, whatever thing you do, these all help to improve the relationship with your followers. क्योंकि if followers are happy, they'll do their job happily, which is going to ultimately benefit your organization. इसकी कोई वैलिडेशन की जरूरत नहीं. यूर सपोज टू नो जस्ट ये है क्या. सो एग्जाम के अंदर ये सवाल आ गया अबाउट मिन्सबर्ग वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह, और यूर सपोज टू डू, ठीक है ना, is say this line and 10 roles को list down कर दो. That's it. I don't think CIE would require anything from you इतना ज़्यादा that is not in your syllabus. So is all of this understood? All right. Now, क्या कहते हैं? Now, if we're done with this, that completes our second section जहाँ पे leadership styles की बात हो रही है. So first section is all about how to define leadership, theories क्या है leadership की. The second section is different styles of leadership जहाँ पे हमने Fiedler, Hershey, Blanchard, and Muskin Raymond की बात की along with Mintzberg. Now we come on to this third section where we're going to talk about followers. So this is going to be a followership. So यहाँ पे भी तीन theories हैं which are gonna be focused around what are the follower types, how do you improve follow relationship with followers, and क्या कहते हैं, how followers can impact your company. So first theory we have in followership is the LMX theory, leader member exchange. Leader member exchange theory के नाम से आ रहा होगा, ठीक है ना. But इस थ्योरी के अंदर भी दो थ्योरीज हैं, एंड वी आर गोना स्टार्ट विद द ओल्ड वन, द वर्टिकल लिंकेज डायड मॉडल. डोंट बी कंफ्यूज विद दिस थिंग. तुम्हारे ब्लैक बुक के अंदर बिल्कुल ये इसका मेंशन हुआ है, लेकिन एंड में हुआ है, उस पैराग्राफ के बिल्कुल आखिरी में. बट मैं इसको पहले डिस्क्राइब करूंगा, क्योंकि दिस वाज द ओल्ड थ्योरी जिसके बेस पे एलएमएक्स बनी थी. So leader member exchange theory was based upon the vertical linkage dyad model. So what is the vertical linkage dyad model? Well, basically, uh, इसमें हम टर्मिनोलॉजीज इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं. एक होता है इन ग्रुप, एक होता है आउट ग्रुप. बेसिकली जब हम फॉलोअर्स की बात करते हैं, not every follower is gonna be equal. Some are gonna be liked more, favored more, and some are gonna be liked less, yeah, favored less. So those followers who are gonna be liked more or favored more, or who have a much more casual relationship or close relationship with the follower, are gonna be known as the with the leader, are gonna be known as an in group. एंड जो ज़्यादा फॉर्मल रहते हैं, इतना ज़्यादा लीडर से इंटरेक्ट नहीं करते, इतना ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव रिलेशनशिप नहीं होता, वो सब आउट ग्रुप के अंदर आते हैं. सो बेसिक जो करीब के लोग हैं फॉलोअर के, और जो दूर के लोग हैं फॉलोअर के, these are known as the in group and out group. So the vertical linkage model is the first time जहाँ पे ये terminology include होती इंट्रोड्यूस होती है, जहाँ पे in group का concept आता है and out group का concept आता है. In group are the people जहाँ पे the leader trust them more and have more informal relationship. Out group are the people where the leader does not trust them इतना ज़्यादा and have a more formal relationship with them. That's the vertical linkage model का idea. अभी तक हम leader member exchange के ऊपर नहीं है. Alright. So talking about the क्या कहते हैं vertical linkage light model आगे. So there is the process where this happened, ठीक है ना. नंबर वन इज रोल टेकिंग, जहाँ पे दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम जो पहली दफा ग्रुप बनता है, ठीक है ना. यहाँ पे कोई इन ग्रुप आउट ग्रुप कोई नहीं है, यहाँ पे सब इक्वल है स्टेज के अंदर. तो रोल टेकिंग के अंदर क्या होता है, रोल टेकिंग के अंदर एवरीवन इज क्या कहते हैं गिवन अ टास्क टू कंप्लीट. रोल मेकिंग के अंदर क्या होता है, रोल मेकिंग के अंदर पीपल आर देन allocated what are they supposed to do to work on a specific task. For example, so think of it this way, this is a goal that everyone has to accomplish. This is how they're supposed to accomplish their goal in their own way. For example, एक रोल टेकिंग के अंदर आएगा कि भाई हमें जो है पिकनिक ऑर्गेनाइज करनी है. दैट्स रोल टेकिंग. अब तुम ये करोगे कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर सपोज टू गेस्ट लिस्ट बनाओ, तुम जो है खाने का अरेंजमेंट करो, तुम ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करो. सो ये रोल मेकिंग के अंदर आ जाएगा. स्पेसिफिक टास्क गिवन टू स्पेसिफिक पीपल, दैट्स रोल मेकिंग. रूटिनाइजेशन के अंदर क्या होता है, रूटिनाइजेशन के अंदर लेट्स सपोज के ऑब्वियसली जब पिकनिक सक्सेसफुल हो जाएगी, एवरीवन विल बी इवैल्यूएटेड हाउ दे कैरिड देयर जॉब, राइट. तो हो सकता है कि एट द एंड जिस बंदे ने फॉर एग्जांपल अपना गेस्ट लिस्ट सही बनाया होगा, ठीक है ना, फॉर एग्जांपल हो सकता नेक्स्ट टाइम उसको दोबारा गेस्ट लिस्ट का काम पकड़ा देंगे. जिसने ट्रांसपोर्टेशन अरेंज की होगी, हो सकता है उसको नेक्स्ट टाइम हमेशा के लिए ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इंचार्ज बनाएंगे, बना देंगे. तो यहाँ पे परमानेंट परमानेंट हो सकता है बना देंगे लोग को. तो रूटिनाइजेशन के अंदर क्या होता है, दोज पीपल हु गॉट द थिंग राइट इन द फर्स्ट ट्राई, वो शायद इन ग्रुप में आ जाएंगे, उनकी पोजीशन ज़्यादा सिक्योर हो जाएगी. और जो पहली दफ़ा रुक गए, वो थोड़े खतरे में आ जाएंगे कि भाई अब हमारा तो लाइक वेयर इन डेंजर नाउ, क्या पता हमें फायर कर देंगे, क्या पता हमें निकाल देंगे. सो आउट ग्रुप बड़े इनसिक्योर होना शुरू हो जाते हैं. बट अभी हम इसके बारे में डिस्कस नहीं करें. हम डिस्कस करें कि इन ग्रुप आउट ग्रुप किस तरह किन को कहते हैं और ये पूरा बनता कैसे है. एंड दिस रिसर्च डन बाय एर्डोगन, ठीक है ना. कि हो सकता है कि लेट्स सपोज हो सकता है कि एक मौका ऐसा आता है वेयर यहाँ पे इस पूरे प्रोसेस के अंदर, ठीक है ना, आ, अगर आउट ग्रुप वाले ने सही काम किया तो दिस कुड बी एन अपॉर्चुनिटी जहाँ पे आउट ग्रुप वाले इन ग्रुप के अंदर आ सकता है अगर उसने अपना काम सही किया. तो दिस गिव्स एन अपॉर्चुनिटी चेंज योर स्टेटस फ्रॉम इन ग्रुप टू आउट ग्रुप अकॉर्डिंग टू एर्डोगन. यहाँ तक कोई मसला. और मुझे 2 मिनट देना, आई एम गोना रीस्टार्ट द मीटिंग क्योंकि टाइमर रन आउट हो रहा है, देन आई एम गोना कंटिन्यू विद यू.